Yo, it's the Life is Dope podcast. I'm your man, Graffiti.
What's good, ladies and gentlemen? It's Davey.
How you feeling today, bro?
I'm feeling awesome, man. We have a very special episode today.
Yeah, man.
I'm in great spirits.
Word.
Despite the ops hating on us.
Man, the ops, bro. Dude, no, we ain't even. we gonna leave that one alone.
We leaving the ops alone?
Next episode. But, man,
right.
we got a special guest in the building.
Ooh.
Bronx is in the building.
Yo.
We got a true spitter in the building right here.
Yo, you got the double XL freshman class of 09 in the building.
Man, catalog is crazy.
Then wrapped with the best of them.
I gotta run back to we got a spitter in the building.
Okay.
Because I want to weigh on that heavy this episode.
Okay.
You know, it's kind of lacking out there.
Okay.
A little bit.
But check it. We got my man Mickey Factz in the building. Y'all clap it up one time.
Smicky!
How you feeling, bro?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm out here in Denver, man. We having a good time. You know what I'm saying?
Word. Appreciate you for coming through.
Absolutely.
So for the people who don't know, let them know who you are, what you do.
All right. If you don't know who I am, my name is Mickey Factz, Bronx MC.
Word.
Double XL freshman cover. BET Cyphers, Sway in the Morning Cyphers, Flex Freestyles, Radio Freestyles, about 18 projects.
Damn.
Very extensive. Worked with the best of them. You know, Kanye, Wayne, Lupe, Marsha Ambrosia, Drake,
Styles P.
Cudi, Styles P,
Royce,
Elzai, Fonte.
Man.
I mean, the list goes on and on and on and on. Nick Grant, you know. So I mean, Saha the Prince, Lupe Fiasco. I mean, I feel like, you know, is I'm just grateful to be here. I'm glad that my talent has enabled me to be able to gain a fan base and peers who respect what I do.
Straight up. So, yeah, you're on tour right now with Lupe.
Yes, we on tour. You know what I'm saying? It's going really well.
Word. How did that come about?
So I haven't been to the West Coast in about, I want to say, 4 years.
Okay.
So I saw that Lou was having a tour on the West Coast. And I just texted him, like, yo, I want to go on the road. He was like,
put me on.
Yeah, I was like, yo, I just want to do some West Coast dates, which was really supposed to just be Portland and L.A.
Mm-hmm.
So next thing you know, I'm looking at the tour list, and I'm on, like, 9 dates. And I'm like, you know what I'm saying? So because initially I just wanted to do Portland, L.A., and Ventura.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next thing I know, I'm on the Denver shows.
Yeah.
I'm on the Texas shows. And, you know, as the days and the shows keep going, they're like, yo, are you coming to Florida? And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
I guess I'm going to do Florida. And then they doing a Midwest run, so I might do the Midwest as well. So, you know,
You're going to be out here.
Yeah, I'm just grateful that, you know, you ask for 3 shows and you wind up with like 15, you know.
Word.
The simple fact that you can text Lupe and say, "Hey, I want to go on tour," and it just happens.
Yeah, that was.
Let's not skip over that.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. I mean, I just kind of, I don't know. I mean, I don't like believing in. I don't believe in like, you know, just kind of like asking without reason.
Right.
So like he's on the road a lot, you know.
Right.
But you know, the last time we toured together was 2013, and it was just fun. It was really, really fun. And I don't like to just be like, yo, you going on the road? Can I come? Yo, you on the road? Can I come? You know, so I pick and choose properly, and I realized that I needed some West Coast love. So I was like, yo, let's do the West Coast stuff. And then he was like, no, nigga, you doing all of these shows. And I'm like, bet. You know what I'm saying? So
Worked out.
Yeah.
That's real. Okay, so you started out. So your dad used to rap with you. So.
Yeah, apparently. Well, yeah, he did. I mean, apparently he was rapping to me when I was in my mom's stomach.
Oh wow.
So I guess that kind of transferred on to me somehow, some way. But I didn't
start
start
in the womb catching bars.
I was catching bars in the womb, son. So I ain't really start like rhyming until like I was about 16. That's when I put my first song together, Six Express, which is on the intro of the Achievement Circuit 82.
Okay.
So that was actually the first rhyme I ever wrote. And for me, you know, I've been doing it now 20 years.
Man.
20 years, 36. I just turned 36 last month. And, you know, I'm out here, man. I'm just having a good time. You know what I'm saying? So he did rap. He did rap to me basically. I didn't mean to go off on a tangent.
That's
No,
that's
you
perfectly
good.
fine.
And
He
he-
letting you do your thing.
Right, and he had a demo called Streetwise, and he tried to make it happen. He tried his best, but you know when you have a child and a new wife in the '80s, you know nobody really knew hip hop was going to be what it is today. So he
Right.
couldn't really take a gamble by trying to become a hip hop artist. So I respect him for it, and I took the mantle and kept running.
Word. So you said 20 years.
20.
So over 20 years, just aside from the music transitioning and changing and the sound, just as a man, I'm trying to think, man, like 20 years ago, I was mad little. But just your mentality from 20 years ago, how has that changed? It's just in general.
Oh man, well, 1998. I mean, that was when I wrote my first rap. So obviously, I was young. I didn't know anything.
Yeah.
I just kind of was emulating what I thought was dope. So at the time in New York City, in 1998, it was Jadakiss, Jay-Z. Big just passed, so it really wasn't too much Big. But it was mostly Jay, Nas, and Jadakiss.
Yeah.
Like for a lot of us, Eminem started to sneak in there for a couple of us, and even a little Busta Rhymes. But for the most part, it was Jadakiss, Jay and Nas.
Word.
And I was just, trying to be like them. I didn't know what they were talking about because I was 16 years old, but I tried to rap the same way. And that's how I built my skill set, like just the intangibles I learned from them. But I wasn't talking about nothing back then.
Yeah. Word.
So I know that this question gets asked so many times, but I think especially with the catalog that you've put out and the hip hop artists that you've rapped with, is hip hop dead? Because I'll let you answer first.
I think hip hop is alive more than ever.
I agree. 100%.
I mean, there's this misconception that all hip hop is just like trap and mumble rap.
Yeah.
I think in this particular era we've been getting a lot more hip hop than normal. Like I think because of the internet, the access to all types of hip hop is like broader than it would have been in the 90s. Is the quality level at the 90s level? Probably not, because it's not. We don't have access to hit records like the 90s did that was strictly hip hop without like bubblegum type sounding music.
Right.
But hip hop is definitely alive and well. There are a niche group of fans that do want real hip hop, and I'm here for it. So I definitely don't think hip hop is dead.
Word. And to kind of go back how I introed the show, that's what I mean. When I say a lack of, I don't mean that it's not out there or that hip hop is dead. Right. But kind of like what you just said, to get that hit record, quote unquote, like it's that formula, it's that sound, that mainstream sound, and it seems like the real spitters and just like hip hop purists, not in a negative way, kind of get shunned upon for that rather than getting the shine. Aside from like a Kendrick or Cole, do you feel being a true lyricist kind of hinders you in the mainstream market?
I mean, if you have a big machine and a cosign behind you, you're always going to be able to get in front of the masses.
Yeah.
Kendrick has Dre, and Dre is probably the biggest entity in the music industry as far as, just hip-hop goes. And then the second biggest is Jay-Z, and that's who Cole is with. So you kind of have to just kind of look at it from that perspective in terms of the lyricists, the two main lyricists. And then you got the guys who can rap but aren't lyricists, like the Drake and the Big Sean. Drake is underneath Wayne, and then Big Sean is underneath Kanye. So it's kind of like it's always going to be a machine behind the bigger artist. But then you got somebody like Lupe, who's like a supreme lyricist. I can't even call him like a regular lyricist. You got to call him a supreme lyricist. He doesn't have that cosign, so he's doing everything off of the sheer Atlantic push from the first 10 years that he was on that label. And that's why he's still able to go out and just kind of do what he does. But if he had a cosign, he would be probably what Kendrick is right now. If he had the backing of a machine, he would be there saying,
Without a doubt, yeah.
saying I would probably be where Lupe is if I had the machine.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's kind of give and take. You kind of need the machine, or you need some sort of funding to get you out there in terms of marketing. And the two lyricists that we call, the top two pens is, guys that have huge backings behind them. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's true.
Damn, I ain't never think about that aspect of it. Because, like, I'm one of them guys that, I listen to Crit. I listen to
Fire.
Lupe, you,
Fire.
Currency,
Fire.
and it's like these cats, like y'all ain't going nowhere. You know what I mean? It's
Right.
just them voices that's gonna be around. But it's like, damn, if they could just get that push. But I don't even know if that's the goal anymore nowadays.
I mean, at this point, I feel like for me, I do kind of want a push, just a little bit. I like how I live now, so I don't want to be like a Drake. I don't want to be like a Big Sean. I don't want to be like a Cole or a Kendrick. I actually don't want to even be like how where Lupe is now. You know, Lupe, every city is bringing out at least 8, 9 to 1,000 people.
Right.
Wow.
I'm cool with 400 people every night, man. Like,
Yeah.
that way I can at least meet everybody that comes out to the show. Trying to meet 1,000 people every night is just impossible.
Right.
But I would be willing to, spend 2.5 hours talking to each and every person that came out to the show, shaking hands, kissing babies, signing autographs, selling merch. I feel like I have more of a connection to the people as opposed to just putting out product and just kind of letting it be what it is.
Right.
I feel like I have a deeper connection with the people.
That's real. So was there ever a time where you felt like you had to go back and rewrite a verse when like an artist sent you their verse? Like if Royce or if Styles sent their verse in and you heard it was like, dang, I need to go back and write it.
Niggas ain't watching me on my shit.
Or was it like, this is cool enough. This is fine.
I think I did change one verse on the Styles P track, but I changed it because it just wasn't dope to me. It wasn't because he had a better sequence of verse.
Yeah.
Because we went back and forth 5 times.
Right.
So I didn't change it because I felt like he was killing me on the record. I changed it because I really just didn't like the verse.
Yeah.
And I wrote it because initially it was supposed to be King Los on the record.
Okay.
And that fell through, and then it was supposed to be Asher on the record. And then that fell through. So then, like, now it's like a contrast with me and Styles P, but it kind of fit and blended well.
Right.
But I can't really remember me changing verses. I can't recall me ever doing that. When I got the Royce verse, I laid in bed for about 45 minutes. Because for me, it was like I laid down 24 bars. And then here come Royce, and he lays down 32, and it's just like, come on, bro.
Yeah, right.
Like, what are you doing, bro?
And it's Royce, so it's not
Right.
just 32 bars.
Right.
It's not empty bars.
So for a long time, I was like, yo, am I going to add 8? Am I going to add 8? Am I going to add 8? And then I was like, you know what? I'm not adding 8.
Yeah.
I'm going to just let it rock. And, people said I got washed. Some people like my verse better than his. But I just decided not to add the 8. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's all about feeling. You know what I'm saying? I felt like adding the 8 would damage the song as opposed to, having it where it is now. You know what I'm saying? So.
What about the other way around where you sent your verse in and artists were like, you know what? This song would be better if it was just you and not me on it.
With just you and not me on it.
Like you sent your verse into an artist and they were scared of the smoke pretty much.
I mean, listen, I don't want to name any names, but that's happened. That's happened a couple times. As of recently, I think the one that's most notable. There's a record called Untouchable with me, this kid named Aspect. It's actually one of my homies, Bleak and Freeway.
Okay.
And apparently, I sent my verse in first. And when I sent my verse in, it was only supposed to be me and that guy, Aspect.
Right.
The record comes out, and it's all 4 of us on the record. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Now I can add Freeway and Bleak to my resume. Bet. You know what I'm saying? So I'm excited. About a week ago, I was with Aspect in L.A., and he was like, yeah, Freeway wanted to change his verse after hearing your verse. And I was like, you got to be kidding me. Freeway wanted to change. I was like, Freeway is so ill. Like, I thought his verse was crazy. But to hear, that I put a verse down and somebody wanted to change their verse is just retarded to me. Like, it's like, nah, man, it's somebody I've been listening to forever.
Yeah.
Now you want to change your verse? That's crazy, man. But he didn't. He left it. So I'm grateful, you know what I'm saying, that I was able to kind of set the bar that high for other MCs, my peers, to kind of be like, okay, I got to come with it. You know what I mean?
Word. So right now we in a weird state of music. I feel like it's the best and the worst that it's ever been, if that makes any sense.
Yep.
From all different sides of it. But I do see, I don't even want to say like a resurgence, because being from the East, you probably hear East Coast music all the time.
Yep.
But I mean, just in the mainstream, it seems like New York is definitely making a heavier presence again. However, there's a lot of artists from New York that don't sound like they're from New York on the radio. How you stand with that?
Who do you guys think? And not to answer your question with a question, but I think it kind of serves to what I'm trying to convey. Who do you think Takashi sounds like?
I feel like Takashi sounds like, or he's influenced by Onyx and like that sound early, or like I get where he's trying to go with it, like the MOP, but he just sounds Southern to me for some reason.
Would DMX be a reach?
I think so, because you know how I feel about X.
Okay.
I feel like it's like heavy metal rap, like
Yeah.
But like like MOP, people used to consider MOP heavy metal rap, and I never considered that.
Nah.
I considered it street rap from aggressive dudes. This
Right.
guy is like screaming, like
Yeah.
and like Onyx would scream, but like Onyx was leveled. This guy doesn't even sound leveled. He's just like
Right.
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 So
Niggas if he
Blicky with the sticky.
right. So me, I don't think he sounds like anybody from down south.
Right.
I don't think Bobby Shmurda sounded like anybody from down south. I don't think so. I think he was just like Jamaican rapper.
It just had that bounce. Yeah.
Now Designer, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Designer, yes. Young M.A., no.
Nah, young M.A. is definitely
What about Cardi?
East Coast.
Or is that-
Cardi is just.
Or is
that's-
she more just mainstream now? so
Cardi
it's
is just she's Spanish, man.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can't
And there's
even
been a
say-
difference. Like Cardi's music transition. Because early Cardi, she was
Southern.
Yeah,
She was very Southern.
Southern trap.
But now
Nuck if you
she's-
buck Cardi.
Yeah, she was Nuck If You Buck, but now she's more like it's more of her heritage / mainstream. Mm-hmm. I think you get more, but even the sound of it, did she sound like a Southern artist, or was it just the music was?
I think it was just
Maybe it's the beats.
It was just the vibe. Like I don't know, and it's not a negative thing at all. Mm-hmm. But like when I hear like a Nick Grant or like a Dave East,
Davies don't sound like he's from the South.
Right.
I'm like, I know where y'all are from. You know
But
what
Nick
I mean?
Grant is actually from North Carolina.
But
That's
I think,
the South.
I think they got their sound too. You know what I mean? I mean, in general, you can kind of specify where an artist is from by how they sound. But I think a lot of artists is popping up from outer places and trying to sound like they're from somewhere else.
Right. Yeah, I mean, okay. All right, now I see what you're saying. Okay,
Yeah.
so artists that are out right now that are popular, I feel like from New York, they sound like they're from New York to me. Mm-hmm. The people that are coming up, I do showcases once a month. They all sound like they're from down south.
Yeah.
And I think in that regard to your question, that stands the test of time. These guys, and when I do showcases or people that open up for us, everybody sounds like they're from Atlanta.
Yeah.
The same flow, the same beat, the same tempo, the same content, the same auto tune. Everything is the same, And in that instance, yes, it is still.
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out how we get around that, man. Like I feel like it's happening, but I think a lot has to do with just the sound and producers. I don't know, man. But I feel like this vibe that we in right now.
This is gonna be here for a long time.
You think?
You got to think.
It's easy. It's easy to make that sound. I think for one,
Yeah.
it's easy to produce those kind of beats, and it's easy to just replicate that flow
Yeah.
or a
think we
derivative of it.
Yeah, I think we got about another 3 or 4 more years of it. Usually,
Producer Julius ain't happy about that.
right?
Yeah.
Usually, I feel you. I mean, usually hip hop evolves every 10 years.
Exactly.
Well, every 7 to 10 years. You know what I'm saying? Boom bap was the 80s. The 90s was like sample heavy.
Yeah.
2000s was the beginning of the Southern production.
Mm-hmm.
And then now we're in the trap. So we got another 3 or 4 years before it changes again.
Yeah.
It's going to change. It's just going to take a while because the young kids love it and it's selling.
Yeah.
Streaming.
I guess that's the market. That's what matters.
So there was a particular Hot 97 freestyle with Funk Master Flex.
Fire.
Especially when I think of Hot 97, I think of like some of the illest freestyles ever.
Yeah.
So when I heard yours, there was something very unique about it. You really started to go into talking about credit and finance and really dropping jewels. And I'm like, yo, I've never heard anyone rap about like credit so eloquently and so clever as you did.
Educational barring me out.
So what inspired that? What made you say, you know what, let me just give them the game on the finance game on credit? Like, what was the inspiration behind that?
When I put out The Achievement in 2016, I sat down, I looked at all the DJs that I needed to go see, and I wrote 600 bars.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, okay, I'm going to take this comic verse. It was like maybe 150 bars or something like that. I was like, I'm going to give this to Sway. So I put that to the side for Sway.
Right. Okay.
I had a Flex verse that was for Flex. It was like 80 bars. That credit freestyle, I was like, I wanted to do something different, and I wanted to kind of put each freestyle on a mixtape, and just call it the Radio Freestyles by Mickey Factz. The credit freestyle was actually initially for the Breakfast Club. I was going to give that to the Breakfast Club. For whatever reason, the Breakfast Club interview didn't happen, and then Flex that never happened. And so the bars that I had for Flex, it just wasn't. I felt like they were old.
Yeah.
So I was like, let me rewrite these bars. So as I'm rewriting them, I'm like, okay, this is hot. Like the first 2-3 minutes, I'm like, yo, this is fire. I was like, I need to switch it up though. So then I was like, you know what, let me just put this credit rap in here and then finish it out with bars. When I was writing the credit rap, it was just 80 bars specifically, and I wanted to kind of, teach the youth, the black youth mostly, because these are things that we're not taught in school. These are things that our parents don't teach us. They just tell us don't get credit, but they don't tell us why we can't get credit. It's kind of like when we were younger, it's like don't have sex, but why can't I have sex?
Right.
What is the dangers of having sex in the 90s? Like, why can't I have sex? You know what I'm saying? As opposed to don't get a credit card. Why can't I get a credit card? It's free money. Well, you have to pay for it. It ruins your stuff in the future. So like I felt like as in the black community, we needed to hear something of that nature to kind of spread the word out to those who, the Hot 97 demographic. Sadly, it's only at 150,000 views. I was hoping it would hit like 1 million, but it's at 150 right now, and I'm hoping that somebody sees it and pushes it to take it to the next level, because I feel like these are things that need to be promoted and said.
Definitely.
Absolutely. Who taught you about credit? Was it something that you learned just...
My dad inadvertently talked to me about it, but not really gave me the lessons on it. And then a lot of it was just experience. Yeah. Especially when you're trying to buy a house, like you got to have your credit up.
That's real, man. That's one of them things I feel like we all should have learned at school, and I'm so irritated now as an adult. I'm like, we went through all this shit in math class about stuff that I don't never use in my life.
Ever.
But we never talked about finance and credit and ownership and none of that.
None of it.
And they still don't. You know what I mean? So we got to change that, man. We about to push the hell out of that.
I don't think I've ever used PEMDAS. Parentheses, exponents. I don't think I've ever used the exponent since I graduated. It's just like what? I mean, I feel like that's like for chemistry. That's for like math, science, like things like that. Like I feel like the school system was trying to create these types of individuals, people who can use these types of sciences. When I say sciences, I mean even like from a math standpoint. Like it's just like they were trying to infiltrate our minds with that, but not telling us the things that we needed to succeed in life. We like in high school, it should be more of a trade school kind of situation.
I can see that exactly.
Either a trade school situation or like a seminar kind of situation where you have individuals who are successful in different fields of life that come in and teach, and then the kids should be able to pick what they want to do. You know what I'm saying? And everybody there should be no, like, I feel like as black people, we just gravitate towards sports and music. But there shouldn't even be any of that, because we're going to learn that on our own anyway.
Right.
But we need some actual skill sets, plumbing classes, carpentry classes, electrician classes, teach kids how to drive, like driver's ed, but like a real driver's ed kind of course. You know what I'm saying? we had wood shop, but wood shop is not really like carpentry or like creating something. You know what I'm saying? Like real art classes where kids who can actually paint. You know what I'm saying? Cultivating the arts as well as, the sciences. I wouldn't be mad if an attorney came in, spent a week and taught kids about, the law. That inspires kids. Yeah. You never know. Astronauts coming in, like, you know what I'm saying?
I definitely agree. I feel like the school system is kind of one of those things that's just stuck as what it is. And like they're slowly, transitioning into more modern things. Like I know they do like coding and stuff like that. But
finally. But
like I know in school they used to always say, we're getting you ready for the real world. But like everything I learned in school that got me ready for the real world had nothing to do with the actual academics. It was just, being social, dealing with these hoes, just like all that type of stuff, like the social aspect of school. But I'm like, man, what did we learn for real in high school? In
white man's history.
Yeah. Taking a whole bunch of notes about Christopher Columbus and social studies.
Numerical codes that we don't use.
Yeah.
Science that we don't use. Maybe we learned how to write, how to, sign our names, how to read. Yeah. Basic math, which you need, when you're counting money.
Yeah.
And that's about it, bro.
I feel like you get all the vitals in middle school.
Right. And then like when you start elevating, it's just like, what are we talking about right now?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
It's interesting you say that.
Yeah.
So I think as far as Lupe, he's definitely thrown shots out in terms of with video games and Street Fighter. Have you had a chance to play him on tour yet?
Yeah, we played last night.
Who's better?
Okay. All right. This is what I want to say.
Okay, let's hear it.
We played 8 games.
Okay.
And he beat me 6-2.
Okay.
Right. He beat me 6-2.
Who do you play with?
The first 4 games I played with Ryu.
Okay.
And then I played with Fei Long the last two games, and then I played with Ryu again for the last 2. So I won the second game and I won the last game. He won the first game, and then he won everything in between that. There was a couple games that he shouldn't have won. Honestly, it should have been 4-4 because the times that he won, my energy was like the size of like a fingernail, or even smaller. And his was the same. Like we were like that close. So it wasn't like he was just whipping me. It was just like
came down to the wire.
It came down to the wire like 2 or 3 times. And it was just like he got lucky. I feel like that's what happened. I feel like he really got lucky on a lot of that stuff. And, he talks crazy because that's what he does. But when we get to Texas, I'm handing out these hands and, because I'm one of those guys where he has to be ready because he knows I know how to play.
Yeah. Right.
So we be going at it. He be doing all of these crazy moves. I'm strictly defensive and reactionary. So I don't be throwing out fireballs. I hate fireballs. I like close quarter combat. So I'm all up on you. I don't like to strategy. You jump and then he's jumping and I don't. That's corny to me.
What character does he use? Not to cut you off.
Ken.
Okay. Yeah, I'm a beast with Ken as well.
Yeah, he's good on Street Fighter 2 with Ken. I feel like Ken is reckless though. Ken, his hitbox for those geeks that's out there.
Yeah, talk to him. That's what I'm following.
The hitbox for Ken on his Shoryuken is so reckless. It's one miss and you're wide open.
Yeah.
Right? And his fireballs, they're not as powerful. His power is in the Dragon Punch.
Right.
Whereas Ryu is more defensive. He's more robotic, and his Hadoukens are stronger. But he has longer reach than Ken, aside from the Dragon Punch. So if you jump and you don't time it right against the Ken player, you're gonna get caught.
Yeah.
And you're gonna lose. That's why I like to fight with Fei Long against Ken, because I'm on you, and you're gonna have to really be nice. Because once I get in close, it's curtains, and he knows that. So that's why
the fact that niggas got real deal Street Fighter strategies is a blessing.
But I feel like Fei Long is kind of a cheat code because he's a quicker moving character than the others. Like he's pretty quick. He's like Vega a little bit.
He is like Vega, and he's very strong.
I be using Vega.
But he don't got no fireball. Like, he just got the leg joint.
Right.
On Street Fighter 4, like, I am super duper nice with Fei Long. Like, nobody can really beat me. Everybody be tight.
Word.
I'm still trying to play Joe Button and Just Blaze. You know who else is really good?
Who?
Boy Wonder, who produces for Drake. He's really, really good in Street Fighter. And Neo.
Really?
Neo is nice.
Everybody's head went up. Like, all right.
Neo is dead nice.
Yo,
in Street Fighter.
I feel like the video game culture needs to be like pushed heavier
in hip hop. Yeah, I agree.
Because before it was like one of them things where it's like semi corny, but we all play video games. So it's like now, I don't know, man. We need to put that out there.
I think right now for our culture, it's more Madden, 2K. Everybody wants to go to the park.
I think that's so generic, though.
It is generic.
Yeah.
Right now, like, I ain't gonna lie, man. Once I get off tour, I'm waiting to get this Spider-Man game, man.
Yeah.
I told my wife, like, just don't expect nothing out of me for a whole week. I'm going dark. Spider-Man is the next thing I'm getting. Then Red Dead Redemption 2.
Word. So they're supposed to be, since we on the topic, they're supposed to be releasing the new Def Jam. I don't want to say like Fight for New York, but another edition.
Yeah, I think it was called like Worldwide or something.
World
War.
Something, yeah.
What we got to do to see Mickey Factz in there
Man,
throwing hands?
I need a hit record, man. I need a hit record. If I ain't got no hit record and I'm in that game, I'm probably like one of the, you know, when you play the fighting games like the Streets of Rage, I'm like one of the first characters you see. You just beat Mickey Factz up real quick. Yeah. I'm like a goon. Because they place everything off of like popularity and hit records.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like I don't have any of that. I just have my own core following. So like I would literally be like a goon or like a mini boss. Like
that's funny. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like going through the people you had to beat to get to Snoop on Vendetta.
Right, I'd be one of those.
Joe Bud
guys.
Was like nice. That nigga was super nice when Pump It Up was out.
Right.
Yeah, man, that's dope. I was gonna ask too, just being on tour, like what's that tour life like? Obviously y'all playing video games and stuff, but just the other side of that.
I mean, tour life, man. You know, shout out to Victory, man. Like Denver, for whatever reason, Denver was rough this time around.
Yeah.
There's a lot of conferences going on. The hotels was very expensive. So I've been couch surfing, man, because I couldn't. Usually when I get into a city, I can buy a hotel the same night, and it'll be like a nice hotel for like $100. But for whatever reason, this time around, coming into Denver was bad, man. Everything was like $250 and up.
I wouldn't say it's this time around, brother.
It's always like that here, huh?
This shit kind of crazy right now.
It's crazy.
It's always something going on.
Past couple years.
Yeah.
Right. So like, it's been difficult, man. I stayed in a nice hotel in LA for like $100, and I feel like LA is a little bit more popular than Denver. You know what I'm saying? I stayed at like a Hyatt for like $100.
Yeah.
You know, so like I didn't mean to inconvenience anybody in Denver, but thank you to everybody that looked out, let me crash on the sofa or on the joint. Shout to Vic. You know, because for me,
Shout
like
to DJ Victory, my guy.
That wasn't my intention. Like.
Yeah.
I got Hotel Tonight on my phone. I got Priceline. I even went on Airbnb. I was trying to make it happen, but everything was just so expensive. And being that I was here from Tuesday, it was just like, bruh, like I would have ended up spending like $1,200 just on lodging, and that's like an anniversary trip for me and my wife.
Right.
So just in terms of like travel in Denver, that it was pretty bad. But every other city showed a lot of love. People love my sets. The food is always good on the road. I've been on the road a lot, so I know what to eat and what not to eat, what to stay away from. You know, being on the road, I actually gave up hard liquor. So that's why I asked you guys if y'all had any wine.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that I'll drink right now. So I don't drink heavy anymore. I think I'm actually quitting hard liquor forever.
Yeah.
Aside from that, I mean, obviously there's, you know, the women, but I stay away from that because it's dangerous, especially in this era. Not even just because, you know, of this era, but, you know, I love my wife, but, you know, it's just I don't want to get caught out there.
And you definitely in the
very easy to get caught up in.
Yo, you in the wrong city, bro.
In 2018. No, not even the wrong city. We in the wrong country.
Yeah.
Like, you take a nap with a joint and wake up and you all over the internet.
Yep.
Yeah, man.
So like
we got the mascot living out here.
That's why I don't play that. I don't play that. Actually, last time I was in Denver, 2008, 2009, like a woman set me and my old manager up and robbed us. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, hell no.
So like robbed us of like $1,000, $2,000.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? Not with like guns, like, you know,
Yeah.
we were passed out from having a good time and she went in our pockets while we was passed out and we woke up, all the money was gone.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So like ever since then I don't mess with women on the road. Like that shit is like Samson, Delilah, Adam, Eve,
Right.
David, Bathsheba flow. Like I stay away from women on the road, dog.
For real.
Man.
So you bring up something good. My bad to cut you off.
No,
bro.
you good.
I'll tap on it before I forget.
Yeah, I was gonna go into a rabbit hole.
Yeah, we talking about the hotels and all that. Like when you get on as a rapper, you know, quote unquote, get on. Everybody assume you can just balling out of your mind because rappers is rich, according to Instagram. So, do you get a lot of that? A lot of let me hold something, or I know you got it because you in the game.
Yeah and no. More so no. But when I was super popular, it was more of a yeah. People were like, "Yo, can I hold something? Can I hold something?" And I would hook people up because, you know, I guess they think that we made out of money when you on TV or you on YouTube, you got a lot of views. People just automatically think you rich, and that's never the case. We the same, struggling unless you got a hit record. We be out here grinding, man. And now that I got a wife, like I can't afford to just be wilding and being reckless with my money. So I got to budget a little bit better. But, you know, when I was younger, I was out here wilding. I was definitely out here wilding.
Word.
And I had it, you know, but now I'm a little bit more mature. So,
yeah.
You know, so I have to be careful.
You hear that, listeners? Just because you see niggas on Instagram and on internet looking popping, we ain't got it.
Hey, we got it. Just we ain't got it for you.
Nah, nigga, just say we ain't got it.
You gotta get your own.
Get your own.
So we're in the society now, especially with hip hop, the Jay-Z, the Beyoncés. We're seeing now the women and the wives making a presence in hip hop, whereas we didn't really see that too much in the 90s and in like the early 2000s. You know, rappers weren't really talking too much about like their relationships and about their marriages. So how has like the marriage life influenced you musically?
I think in the infancy of hip hop, everybody was young. So cats wasn't really getting married, they were young.
Yeah.
KRS was married to Bahamadia. And there's a couple other people that were cats that was married, but for the most part, like you said, nobody was really like promoting it. Now we're in the age, like you got to look at Jay like 48, so of course he's promoting marriage. Nas, when he was with Khalees, he was about 40, you know. So, but then there's the younger cats. Like I think did Wiz marry Amber?
I feel like he
say
had a
it
bar
seemed
about
like
that on his album. I think they was engaged.
I think they were engaged.
Yeah.
But, you know, Papoose and Remy, you know, they got married. I mean, I feel like for me, my marriage, it helps my music. It helps me grind harder because she doesn't work. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
She basically is trying to be an author, and, you know, her book is coming out August 19th. So if you guys... Well, not you guys, but the people that are listening, or you guys too, actually.
Yeah, we'll check it out too.
You know, go on her website, Aisha Williams, IESHA Williams, rights.com, and, you know, pick up a book. But, you know, she's getting on her feet in terms of getting her product and her content out there. So, like, right now, I'm like the breadwinner, so I got to go hard and work hard. Every dollar and every cent needs to be accounted for, so I can't really be out here wilding sometimes. So, you know, she pushes me to be a better artist, a better husband, you know, and a better person. So I appreciate her for that.
Word.
And Wiz and Amber were married.
They were.
Yeah.
Okay, damn.
So yeah. See, I thought they were.
Yeah, shouts to Wiz and Amber. All right, man. So what's next for Mickey Factz? You got hella albums out there on the market. You just dropped that new the new museum.
I said,
recently.
yo.
I Said Joe is the latest one.
Yep.
It's been a month since that's been out, and it's doing really well online. Right now, the next thing that's going to probably be dropping, I'm dropping a couple of videos. I got a video of Pharoah Monch from the Achievement called Masterpiece that's going to be coming out. I did a video for Society that'll be dropping soon for I Said Joe. I got a freestyle with the LA Leakers that should be dropping next week.
Okay.
A couple comedy sketches with some Instagram comedians dropping. I got an EP with 100 bullets that's done already. Trying to get that on Mass Appeal.
Okay.
Trying to do like the spiritual hip hop album, not really gospel, but more so like a confessional spiritual hip hop album. I'm gonna do with this artist named 88 West. I got an EP with Key Wayne, probably gonna either drop later this year or early next year.
Just working.
Oh, shouts to Key Wayne.
Key Wayne's fire. Working. I'm going to Dallas tomorrow to work with Dedrick. He actually made the song for me and Royce. We're gonna do an EP together when I go down there. So I'm just working, man. And touring with Lupe, touring with Blue, touring with Chris Webby. So I'm just kind of packed up.
Yeah, grinding.
Dang, we didn't even ask about Knots. The Knots project.
Yeah, that's the achievement. Shout out to my homie Knots, man. We made a classic, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? It was like my Illmatic.
Word, man. So, one final question, and
Sure.
I'm gonna kind of customize it to you specifically because you really out here still just working. You know what I mean? A lot of people get in the game, kind of get jaded, kind of get comfortable, but you grinding and it's visible. Right. One piece of advice or knowledge or information you would give to the next young Mickey Factz out there?
Go with your gut. Never go against your gut, man. Your gut is never going to be wrong, man. I know we have, as artists, we got managers, we got booking agents, we got lawyers, we have stylists, we have everything. You know what I'm saying? My advice to y'all is just go with your gut. Whatever your gut tells you to do, just go with it as long as it's not outrageous. You want to make the best decisions possible. That way there's no regret in whatever it is that you do. Your gut is never going to lie to you. Your gut is a part of you. So you just have to go with whatever your inner being is and do a lot of prayer, man. Prayer will help you, man. You know what I mean?
Word.
Cool. So as far as social media, how can people connect with you?
Yeah, go to twitter.com/Mickey, MICKEY, F as in Frank, ACTZ. Instagram is Mickey.Factz. And on Facebook, it's facebook.com/official Mickey Factz.
I don't know if you want to put the gamer tag out there for people who
want
to smoke.
Listen, man, the gamer tag is Mickey Factz GFC. Come get these hands.
I think you want that smoke, Dag.
Hey, listen. Don't let me.
I think you want that smoke.
Don't let me get Ken.
Wait, talking about what? Wait, you want smoke?
Listen.
What do you play?
Listen, I've been playing fighting games since I was 10.
You see how his soul lit up when
What
we
do
got on
wait,
that.
what do you play?
I play Street Fighter. I play Marvel vs. Capcom.
See, y'all should have had it here. You could have got killed today.
Let me know
Man,
next.
I'll run home.
Let me know next time you in town, because we're gonna have to run that.
They got a TV at Larimer Lounge. Oh, listen. Well, if y'all in the vicinity, pull up to Larimer Lounge.
Yeah. Come through the Larimer Lounge tonight, man. I'm rocking out there. Last night in Denver. If you lived across the street, like right there, I would say, yo, let's go. I'll kick your ass real quick.
Yeah, right.
He thinks that's what's gonna happen, but
disrespect your house real quick and then leave. You know what I'm saying? But
I don't want to mess up your head before the show.
Take that gamer tag, man. Dave wants to smoke. I seen it in his spirit.
Listen,
it was kind of coming off.
Listen,
I don't know.
It sound good and you look good saying it, but it ain't nothing about what I'm gonna do. All right?
I don't know if you'll still even remember your verses for the show. If you play me in any fighting game.
It sounds good, man. It sounds good. Listen. No.
We gonna run that, man. Next time you in Denver, or next time we
it sounds good, B. Y'all know Lupe ranked number 1.
Hey.
And I smoked him before he played Daigo. That was me. I got footage of it online. I throw Street Fighter contest and beat the winner of the contest. This is not something y'all really want to do, man. I was trying to explain this to y'all, man. But, people always this is what people always do. Like, it's like, I'm really good in this game, and I'm gonna beat you. And it's just like, bro, like, there's levels to this thing.
It's just
man.
embarrassment.
Like,
It's all embarrassment.
Listen, I
at the
can
end.
handle that 2 to 6 smoke. Okay, I can handle that.
all right. Listen, you know what? I mean, listen. Hey, whatever, whatever works, man. You know, I really wish there was a game system here. I would.
I know, man. We got to make that happen.
Yeah, I mean, we are. I mean, you know.
You know,
Yeah.
we're gonna add the gamer tag and we're gonna see.
Add the gamer tag, Fei Long, Street Fighter 4, untouchable. I'm that nice, man. Like I be rocking. That's all I can say, man. Hey.
Well, next time we get up with Mickey Factz, we're gonna tell y'all who won, or we're gonna set it up and show y'all. Cause you said you do the street. I seen the Street Fighter competitions.
Yeah, you know that's what I do. They reach out to me
Like a for real
to
situation.
do the tournament. Then I play the winner and I beat the winner, and it's just like, man, this guy's too good. You know what I'm saying? It's
More
just like,
platforms to flex on.
right. Like, you know, I mean, my name is like on a couple of machines across the country. My name's on a couple of leaderboards.
It's nothing.
You know, I go to people's arcades and just take over whatever it is. Yeah, but that's neither here nor there. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know,
that's perfectly fine. I mean, you know, in any given Sunday, you know. That's,
all right.
It's the prelude. We setting up.
All
the
right.
smoke.
We'll be back out here. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna probably come back out here with Chris Webby. So when we come through, just make sure you ready, B. That's
Just
it,
know we're
man.
gonna have it
Hey,
set up and we're
it's
gonna
all
rock
good.
it, man. We in there.
All right, sounds good to me.
But y'all make some noise, my man. Mickey Factz.
Yes, sir. Smicky.
Life is Dope podcast. I'm Graffiti.
and I'm Davey. Skirt. We out.
All right, right on.